Namaste. Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. How you can reduce cortisol through imagination. Neville Goddard was born in Barbados in 1905 and moved to New York as a teenager, where he faced financial struggle, cultural displacement, and a deep longing for meaning. He suffered from feeling powerless in a world driven by external circumstances until he discovered mysticism, scripture interpretation, and the power of imagination. His breakthrough was simple but radical, and his teachings have changed many people's lives. What he states is that the inner state precedes outer reality. Neville's teachings offer a solution to human despair, where emotion-led imagination can recognize the subconscious and reshape one's life inside out. I remember when I was in juvenile detention for stealing jeans and joyriding cars. During my third stint as a teenager, I said to God, Lord, higher power, whoever you are, if you were to get me out of here, I will one day inspire somebody. And this is how I could do it. Maybe I'll speak. I had no idea what that meant, but that set the tone for who I am today. That imagination of me inspiring somebody else, I never thought that I would do a video. First of all, I couldn't afford anything at that time when I was young. I would have never been able to afford a camera. I'm 46 years old. When I was 17, what is that, in the mid-90s? I mean, we didn't have access to things like we do now. And speaking of that, I didn't really access audiobooks up until just this year, early in 2025. After I quit sugar, I feel that God blessed me with, I imagined myself doing more. The law of assumption, where I'm like, this is the end. I'm going to be speaking to somebody, I'm going to make this money, and then I'm going to donate it. And when I said that, I was blessed with these audiobooks. So that's where this law of attraction comes in. And the reason why I'm even mentioning this, and other people might not even be able to relate to this because they can read books. I mean, we're talking about like novels and books, not medical school stuff. That was more, I thought that was normal. Everybody read medical books because I only knew people who were in medicine when I was in school. But I didn't really know many people who listened to audiobooks or read them. And Brian Tracy was one of those that really changed my life on audiobooks. Use audiobooks as a university. And that's where I really started imagining helping others by listening to audiobooks. Let's go over 5 key points in the book, Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. Number 1, assumption creates physiology. Neville teaches that what you assume to be true shapes your reality. Medically, assumptions trigger the amygdala, and that directly determines your cortisol baseline. Changing assumptions changes biology. Let's take an example of playing basketball. Let's say that you assume that you're not going to make a shot. Then that's likely going to be your reality. But if you imagine a shot going in, imagine how much that's going to reduce your cortisol. I like to always say that do one thing 1 second at a time when nobody's watching you, things that you don't want to do that will forge your life. Slowly figuring out ways to lower your cortisol levels. I will make the shot and this is what I'll do to make it, instead of saying I won't make it. Number 2, feeling before evidence reduces stress load. Neville says that feeling of the wish fulfilled comes first. I'm going to make the shot. I'm just going to sit here, imagine it going in. But at the smallest level, my fingers are going to release the ball. It's going to be in the air. I'm going to be wearing black shorts, white socks, white Druva MD t-shirt. And I'm going to be able to hear it go into the net and then come down. Now that is the law of assumption. You've assumed that you're already there. When you feel safety before proof, the brain stops those threat signals, which lower your cortisol. And then when uncertainty drops, your cortisol drops along with it. So when you have an event, the amygdala gets hijacked, which is the emotional brain. Oh man, I'm not going to make it. They're all going to see me. They're all going to say something about me. No, the shot will go in, and this is why, because I've done this. And when you can do this, and through the power of autosuggestion, as Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Grow Rich, then the more you do it, the better you get at it. And the more you imagine, the more it'll come true. Imagine some of the things that you've imagined. Like, let's say you're going to go to the supermarket and buy vegetables and make a salad. You've imagined that, and then it happens, right? A lot of people online have really taught me a lot about Neville Goddard. So if you have anything to add on this, or maybe you might say that, hey, look, what you're saying could be said like this, please drop it in the comments below. Imagination gives the prefrontal cortex control. Neville Goddard's version of imagination isn't fantasy. It's directed attention towards a specific goal. When you hold a desired end state, your prefrontal cortex activity increases. This is the brain that you want to be able to access. This is the brain that decreases the parasympathetic nervous system, that vagus nerve response, the relaxed response. Okay, I'm going to sit here and record a video. I'm going to edit it. Maybe it'll inspire somebody. Or the opposite could be, and that's the prefrontal cortex, the thinking brain, the powerful brain. I really like what David Bayer says. And he says that you want to always be able to access the powerful brain and not the primal brain. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how he says it. And what he means is that you want to be able to access the thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, decrease the sympathetic nervous system. Oh my God, I'm so stressed. For example, instead of that, you can just sit like this in a video and look. Oh, well, I have my pets here. Look at them. Aren't they so beautiful? And you can say that, oh man, this is going to be such a stressful situation. I'm not going to be able to get this barely edited. I don't have time, and nobody's going to care. Well, that is you've already imagined the end. Instead of that, when you imagine this end, okay, I have my pets here. I'm relaxed. Let me think from the powerful brain, the prefrontal cortex, decrease the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, epinephrine, norepinephrine, adrenaline, that spike, I got to do something. No, just relax. You know what? Do you have a purpose, mission, vision? Does God have your back? The universe have your back? Okay. That's where number 4 comes in. Inner dialogue reduces cortisol. Inner dialogue is your cortisol regulator. Neville's concept of inner speech matches medical reality. Your internal narration determines whether your body's in fight or flight or rest and restore. When you invest in that inner dialogue, your neurochemistry will alter. For example, I'm not going to make the basket. There's going to be people watching me. I'm going to make a video. Nobody's going to care. What happens is that you, like we talked about, the cortisol increases. But when you have this inner dialogue, no, this is what I'm going to do over and over again until it works. And what I'm going to do is also practice basketball over and over again. And then when I do get into these situations that I perceived as stressful, Michael Jordan would say it too when he did that last shot in Game 6 of the NBA Finals in Utah, where he stole the ball, went down to the court, did a little push off, and then swished the ball. He was like, that was just like a normal day for me. He had imagined it already going in because he had practiced it so many times. Number 5, state first, act second. Neville states that your inner state creates your outer action. Biologically, a regulated state produces better decisions. I got this. But you have to mean it though. That's the big thing. You have to feel it. It has clearer dopamine direction, lower cortisol secretion, and then your nervous system works for you. You exhibit those neurospiritual frequencies. Your stress is reduced. You're not operating from a place of anxiety and stress. David Bayer says this too. You're not working from a place of anxiety and stress any longer. You're working from a place of joy and pride. And when you can do that, you will emit that frequency. And then that law of attraction will work for you. And the law of assumption is like, I know it'll work because I'm doing this. You take inspired action as, I really like what Gabrielle Bernstein says this, use inspired action. Now, a lot of the time what I've seen in the manifestation space is talking about how you just imagine and then let it go to the universe. I don't disagree with that. But in Mind Hygiene, which is supported by medical evidence, I gotta write, I gotta do something. I like the idea of inspired action. And Gabrielle Bernstein also talks about having fun with manifestation, which I needed to learn a little bit more. I'm just like, let's do this and manifest. I like the idea of inspired action. And even David Bayer says this too. Just kind of let it go to the universe. First, you have to be able to be an attractor. And whatever you're going to do, actually, what I would say is do less. If you want to shoot a basketball and make it, do less. That means don't eat as much sugar and fat. When you do that, you're able to move more. For example, with this, what do? Don't get angry. Don't get upset. Just do it. And then the law of attraction will work for you. Now, those are some simplified things. And this is just what works for me. I'm just inspiring you and inspiring myself at the same time as well. And if you found value in this video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. There will be a mind hygiene guide that you can download. in the description that will help you believe in yourself every second, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.